Hi everyone, to the very first video of Vanlife Amsterdam. And yes, there is no van yet. Today I want to tell you a few stories. I want to mention some points and to explicitly point out what actually brought me to this idea of van life, how did I came into that, and what's actually, in my opinion, are valid reasons to be driven into such a adventure. And first, I want to talk about balance. You all heard of that, right? Work-life balance, like you need to do something to follow your passion and all of these stories. But let's make it really simple. So every day we live, every hour we spend, and it's very important, every single euro or dollar or whatever you spend, this is still a piece of your life. So you go for work to make money, you do something to afford living, then you get paid for that, and then you spend it. And in the end, this all comes from the time you spend. So basically you're wasting your life, you're spending the time that you have. And the only question that matters for me is it worth it? So this time that you give up to the outer world, is it really worth it for you? Do you feel happy enough? Does it giving you enough so you can go on and make it again and again? Or this is kind of doubtable. So the criteria for me, I would say that the closer you go to your passion, the more things you spend your time on is really engaging you, that really makes you fulfilled, satisfied, and you feel like it was a great day, not just because of accidental feeling, but in general, like a bit something that makes your life happy, I would say. And from that way, from that point of view, the more time you spend on something you like, something that you want to do, the more happy you feel. And that brings us to the recognizing and following your passion. Let me tell you one more story about how historically did I came to that. So in 2018, this year, I had quite an interesting trip to the States. It was 3 weeks road trip. We were exploring with a couple of friends California, and of course when I went back I thought I should definitely do that again. And trying to figure out how to do this, how to rent a car, where to live, how to make it reasonably affordable, brought me to the websites where I could rent an RV. And this is where something brought my attention to some video on YouTube about the van life. So for me, the passion of doing something with electricity, with the wood, with the metal, so actually whatever, plus being crazy enough to start something real strange, compiled to the idea of van life. So you can actually find a car, buy it, you can make it, do some repairment, do some insulation, set up electricity, whatever, and this is how you can actually make it work. Most of the stories were about people living in the States with a very warm climate and good environment and all those benefits, having like 24/7 gyms everywhere, and of course 7-Eleven or Whole Food or whatever, supermarkets, Walmarts, and all the fancy stuff. Well, I live in Europe, so for me it's not that easy, and also the climate is different, but I still thought, well, I'm crazy enough to start, and I think it's worth the efforts. I don't look at a van life as an escape or as a solution of whatever life problems. No. This is something that is engaging me enough to try to do this whole work. To study a lot how people are doing that, how do they convert their vans. To be able to apply all the knowledge I have about cars, vehicles, maintenance, to be able to do all this installation part and to arrange this room slash house, which is like a property inside a cargo van, a space inside a cargo van. So that's enough exciting for me to try. And first of all, I'm going for that because this is something that I feel like I will be enjoying doing. And let's see how it goes. This project for me, this channel and those videos, is first of all a flashback for myself to take a look how did it went. What's my current state? Well, I found a van. I believe in one of the next videos I'll show it. It was quite hard to choose. It was quite hard to study like where you need to look at, and you know, when you watch YouTube videos how to find a proper car and how to inspect it, it's so easy. When you try to do it yourself, it's way more complex. So tomorrow I'm picking it up and then the renovation will start.